everyone, what's up? It's GleeCon, and here I am, once more, piping down into the earbuds or speakers, the cathode rays. I don't think that actually any monitors are use cathodes tubes anymore, but to the device with which you consume your media, and I hope I provide you some good stuff. So on this show, Lore of Warcraft, we do everything involved with the World of Warcraft universe, and by do everything, I mean we experience it together, like we're sitting there side by side in a nice warm embrace, snuggies up on the couch. Maybe you have a snack. Maybe I'm a little sleepy. We might be looking at the books, magazines, videos, old games, weird stuff. But the big meat of the show lately has been doing a World of Warcraft Classic Completionist walkthrough, because everything I do in my life is done as a completionist, whether that is work or play. And the way I play is World of Warcraft, and for 20 years now. So we're deep in Stranglethorn Vales. Man, we're so close. So stay a while and listen as we jump back in. We've done it completely with the Alliance, and we're going to try to wrap up Horde today. It really could go either way. We could fail to finish Horde completely today, or we could finish it with time to spare. I'm not sure. So the things that we have left to do, we have to get the Pelly Verbose port. That's super easy. We'll walk around and pick that up from the beaches around here. I'm not worried about that. We will also need to get Cortello's Riddle. Well, that's super easy. That's right at the base of the waterfall up ahead. Smot's Cutlass, we need Negolash. That's these barbecued buzzard wings we have right here. We need to buy the wine that goes with it. We'll do that once we get back to Booty Bay to turn all this stuff in. And finally, the reason why we're here is, I believe if I did the math, we need 40 scales. Because we need, we have all these leatherworking quests that we need to get done. And we're going to turn those in on the way. We're already done with the thick armor kit. And we already have more than enough for the night scale tunic, all that stuff. If you look at the night scale things, the tunics and the headbands, we already have enough thick leather, and that's all that those take. And then it's just the wild leather, these turtle scale breastplates and gloves. I don't know why they randomly want us to get these. But we need a total of 16 turtle scales to make 2 of those. And we need a total of 24. Yeah, so we need a total of 40 turtle scales, which the best place to get those is from the turtles here in the hinterland. So as we walk around doing those things, we're going to murder some turtle. There's one right there. And that'll help us level up too. We're also, so close to level 50. We're going to hit that up on the way as well. So I think it would be cool if I could maybe lay my totems, if I was any good at this totem game here. But I'm not really. Pretty bad about that. Pretty bad about maximizing the use of my totems. I just don't do it very well. So I don't know if I think these guys can drop scales, but I also think we can skin the scales, so maybe sometimes we can get a 2-for-1. I don't really know how challenging this is going to be, or not so. We're going to find out together. There's Willie Tell. Old William Tell, Shorty, the kid version, I guess. Bye, Willie Tell. Okay, so we got no turtle scale just from the death. And we got a rugged leather. So, first kill, no scales. Does that mean anything? No. It's not the best sign that I've ever had in my life. So coming up, let's also look forward a little bit, because I really got to talk to you about my World of Warcraft experience, and a lot of that is what's happening behind closed doors when I open the kimono. No, a lot of it is, hey, what's going to happen? What do I do? So first of all, let's just talk a little bit about my anniversary experience, just for fun. So I've been doing, as I mentioned at the top of the show here, okay, we got a scale. We got a tail, a scaly tail. And we did get 2 turtle scales. So that's good. So 38 to go. We're going to keep track of that as we play. I don't really care about the totems anymore. I'm just going full bore on these guys now. Also, I wasn't really looking around for wine bottles. That quest is so easy, though. We'll get our wine bottles. I'm not worried about it. All right, so I do a really, really, really crazy, just for my own personal fun, this complete sick OCD. It's just, oh man, gets me hot and bothered just thinking about the way that I do it. So, you know, we try to cover everything. We go zone by zone. We go in order. We do even the most obscure stuff. We don't miss any nooks, any crannies, nothing like that. That's how we do this particular experience here that we're playing. I'm going to go ahead and eat one of my things. How about... what do we have? Well, we have these grilled squid. I kind of want to save those because they're pretty good. We do have these sun scale salmon. Okay, I'm going to eat one of those. Might help out some. All right, so what's cool about the way that we do things is, you know, we go in order. Well, I had this thought, like, wouldn't it be really fun if I did, like, everything in order? If I took a character and I started at the beginning of World of Warcraft and I went completely bonkers in order. So at level 1, I made sure I went around the world and I found every single level 1 quest possibly known to man. And I go through and I do them, and I travel, I take my level 1 character all the way around the world. It doesn't matter, I'm not finishing a zone. I'm just going to every place and finding all the level 1 quests that I can do. I think I left there. Got nothing there. So far, no good. Okay, so still stuck at 2. But while I'm at it, hey, let's also do... Oh, what? I gotta zoom in a little bit because I'm not finding any bottles of wine. Back up this way. Don't know where they're all at or why I can't find any. Unless someone recently just came and did this quest. But wouldn't it be also cool if on top of it, I made sure every possible skill. So, sure, both my main and my secondary professions, and, but also, like, my... Oh, there's Gamarita right on my 6. We could kill her, too. She's just probably more trouble than it's worth this early. I'm sure she drops turtle scales if we kill her, but... Okay, we just got 2 more, so we're up to 4 scales, 36 to go. But wouldn't it be cool to also level up every single skill, and not just the main professions, not just the secondary professions, such as first aid, cooking, fishing, but also every single possible weapon skill. Oh, and by the way, let's pick the class I hate the most, which is Hunter, so that I can force, through like total psychological immersion, force myself to love this class. I will love it. And, oh, guess what? The Hunter can use basically every spell, every weapon that exists. There we go, we hit level 50. So on top of it all, we got 2 more skills, so we're up to 6, so we need 34. And let's level up our skill. Restoration, give another title mastery, so 4% increased crit chance with our heals now. So, at level 1, let me make sure I have every possible skill up to 5. And then at level 2, let's get it up to 10 and so on. So basically by a multiple of 5. So by the time you're level 60, that's how you get to 300. You keep multiplying by 5. So instance, this character just hit 50. If we were doing this on her, I would need every skill up to 250. Now, of course, excuse me, some things can't be helped. At level 1, you just simply don't have enough money to train all the different skills. So I did let money gatekeep me a little bit. And we also let, like, for instance, polearms. Well, you can't learn that. We just got 2 more skills. We're up to 8, so we need 32. We have to let that, I think you have to be level 20 to learn polearm. Plus, it costs a gold. Plus, to get a pole arm to even use to raise the skill at that low level requires another gold. So I needed a 2 gold surplus. I needed to be level 20, and obviously then when you get it, it's back to level 1. So there are some things that are just unavoidable. We have to live within those constraints. But it also meant that I would carry around a bag full of every kind of weapon, and that I would constantly work on them, that I would continually keep my pet leveled up to that level. I would keep my pet learning all the maximum skills that are possible for that rank. Now, it's not based on my character's level. That's the one area where I have some wiggle room. It's based on the level I am in my experience. Oh my gosh, I could talk about this forever because I just sincerely love this type of thing. It's like a completionist's and I know there are people out there that love this kind of thing and they do it for other games. I know it because I read about, I read it on Reddit, I read it on these other message boards that will try to like fully completionist, say like an Elden Ring or a Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, stuff like that. So World of Warcraft is just my jam, and it's what I like to do it on. So on that character, I'm up to level 18 quest. So now what does that also mean? Well, it means, if, say, Wailing Caverns has the 17 quest, well, I've got to go take care of that. And then I've got to retake care of the 18 quests after, and then come back. So I have to do multiple runs of dungeons, usually. Okay. We got a single turtle skill, so we're up to 9. I truly don't know where the the port is. I don't know if I'm not seeing it. I really think it must have been. Okay, I'm gonna just move on. I think people must have came and got it. So anyway, yeah, I'm recently done level 18. That means I'm playing around in the exterior of Wailing Caverns. I've already done the 17. I've already went and collected all the deviant hides on my own. And oh man, I'm not a Sunken Temple person, but I do feel bad because I am a healer and I would love to offer my services, but we do not have time, and I'll tell you why we're on such a tight schedule as I continue our recap. But we are currently a cow on a mission, and that's what I'm going to say after this fight. Is that, sorry, we're a cow on a mission right now. We can't do it. Okay, we didn't get that one. All right. So I feel bad because I would like to be helped, especially after what I did last episode, where I started off the episode by being a jerk. I want to pay that forward, and I want to be a little bit better. But we really are. We are on a mission for the next week, and let me not get sidetracked. We'll talk about that a little bit more as we continue to grind here. All right. So. Anyway, it also means that I am at 90 with my skills. Lots of speckled shell fragments. Okay, did not get anything good. Oh, there's one. I finally see a port right there. And yeah, so things are going pretty good. I recently spent last week pretty much grinding for the not message in a bottle, the Captain Sanders treasure. That's either a level 16 or 17 quest. It took me a really long time to find it. I want to say 16. And then right now I'm doing all these 18 quests. There's not really a ton. I'm mostly done. And I'm working on the exterior of Wailing Caverns. So that's my life. I'm really enjoying it. I like it, and it's actually more enjoyable than even I thought it was going to be. I thought maybe I might drop it, it wouldn't be that good, but no, it's really quite fun. Now, I'm also doing anniversary with my wife. I'm trying to play once a week because our work schedules don't overlap except for a couple times a week, and a lot of those times it's on work nights, and you know, I have the a self-imposed responsibility to make the videos for you guys. But her and I have also been grinding forward. As mentioned a few back, I've decided to make a holy paladin healer. I like that idea, and I think it has a lot of potential. Particularly, whoever was out there one day, if you ever see this video, person, but we did it on camera. But there was a time when I killed the guy in front of Booty Bay, that giant. Ooh, yes! Yeah, baby, we got this distress beacon. That's going to help us a lot later on. We also just got another turtle scale. It's 10. We still need 30. That's why I said I didn't know how long or bad that this episode was going to take us, because the grinding element, there's a bottle over there too, I see. Get it after this kill. All right, so and I'm not being that crazy, but I still can't play this game without being completionist. It's just how I am. So we started off as humans. I'm a human holy paladin. She is a human fire mage, because that's ultimately my wife's favorite. If you were to just say she could only play one class and play that class forever, she would pick the most destructive, magey kind of person as possible. She likes to sit back, and she likes to shoot things and blow things up, and it's just what she likes. She also likes the ability to not have any extra stress put on her other than doing DPS. Okay, we were at 11 scales, BT dubs. And she likes the ability, when being DPS, to sit back, because you have to avoid a little bit less things. It's a little bit easier, especially in Classic, to be a ranged DPS than it is to be a up-in-your-face DPS. Alright, so we need 29 more scales, by the way. So we have completed all of Elwyn Forest, and because I am that completionist, as I mentioned, she's also... we are also now... We got a port to Darnassus, and we've started questing in those areas, so that will be fun. We've done one session of Teldrassil questing. So it's going okay. It's pretty easy. We did basically all the super easy stuff, but you know, it can be a little bit time consuming. Okay, we're up to 12 scales. Need to go. Just keeping our eyes peeled for these bottles, and we're making our way north for that Cortello's Riddle. We're gonna get it all done. So that's my life with Anniversary, and I have truly been enjoying it. I like that there's a looking for group element to it. Now, I have also been... I just wrapped up all of Zul'Farrak, all of Tanaris. That's all done. That zone has got a bow. I've even gone back. I've done the post-quest. I've summoned Shadra, and I've got the Ancient Egg on both my accounts ready to go for when I do finally go back and do Sunken Temple again. So we got all kinds of good things on that and ready to go. But now I've paused because as I looked at the quests, you know, right now it's the Lunar Festival. Well, we have a limited amount of time. We only have a week and a day. There we go. We just got the 13th shell. So right there, a week and a day, that's very little. That's 8 after. That means we have 8 more days. That sucks. Maybe we'll get lucky and get a 9th day. And that 8th day is including today, which is a day that's already almost over. And when I finish this video, it's going to be just about the end of my day. And I'm worried about how long it's going to take us. Because, not counting the raid. There's a raid involved in this quest. Not counting the raid. Not counting the quests to turn in all of the lunar coins that we'll get, which we'll talk about in just a sec. Not counting those things, just coin collection all by itself, nothing else discussed. There are 50 coins across the world, 50 elders across both continents. On 2 accounts. That means we have 100 quests and then some. In reality, because of all the repeatables, there's almost 10 other quests. So we're looking at somewhere in the ballpark of 120, give or take a couple, quests that need to get done. I maybe accomplish 20 quests a week at the rate that I play off camera because I just don't have time. And I give almost all of my time playing video games is on camera. You see it. That was our 14th one. We need 26 more. If I'm playing games, you're watching it. So so I thought to myself, okay, there's no way around it at the rate that I'm playing. It's impossible. I do not want to wait another year and be beholden to doing the Lunar Festival next year also. So that leaves only one option. Speed it the heck up. So yesterday I decided I'm committing today. I'm going to do a bunch. And I did. We're pretty close here. I had to do that. I'm just a little scared. Yikes. Okay, we're going to have to destroy some things soon. Okay, so first off, actually, let's go back and sell. I don't want to destroy. I want to sell. What do we have that we can cook? The yellowtail. Like I'm not worried about it because we're at 300 cooking. But is there, this undermined clam chowder? Don't care about it. So we can sell the clam meat. Just checking with the things that we got. Yeah, see, there's no meat that's really on par with what we're doing, so I can sell all this stuff. I can sell it all, except for the leather and the turtle scales. We have tons of thick leather too. We're getting lots of thick leather from these turtles. I love that. We can sell at least this stack of stuff and repair. So I did begin that process. I don't see. Maybe there's just not a hinterland. Oh yeah, see, there's the Elder, High Peak the Elder right there. So there are 50 scattered throughout the world. Now I am a little bit scared. As of right now, I'm okay. So that means
if it's broke, Slacktree can fix it.
Perfect. Okay, back out we go into the world. So two things worry me. One is the amount of time it's going to take to do this. I don't know if we're going to be able to do. I'm hoping that in 4 hours we can accomplish it all. In two-hour episodes. I'm going to do one this Friday, and I'm going to do one Saturday and one Sunday. So that gives me 3. Then then Monday I'm going to have to do the other. There's just no two ways about it. That's the only way I can potentially get this done. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That means I can give 2 to each. So regardless of how long it's going to take, I have to do that. It's going to take a while. There's a lot of traveling. You have to travel to just about every zone in the game. There's a couple zones you can skip. So if you look here, so I got about... I got pretty good. I'm a little bit more than a quarter of the way through it all, and that took me 1 day. So I do have confidence that I can do it off camera. Also, my characters are a little bit more powerful. We gotta hide that time. Thick hide. So part of it's that I'm a little bit more powerful. So like for instance, I'm 54 and 56 respectively. So there's just things I can do. Second. On my Horde account, I can stealth. And as a wizard, I can blink, I can do that. That's a lot different than the very little kiting ability that we have as a level 40, as now a level 50 shaman, or as our paladin, level 50 paladin. While 50 is pretty good, and it will allow us to travel any place we need to travel in the game, zone-wise, even Silithus, we can get there with some... Ooh, another rugged leather, darn it. We get there with, like... It's not that I'm worried about. And there are some suicide runs. So, for instance, I started here. Oh, with Alliance, it was easy. Actually, I'm a mage. So I just ported to Darnassus. I picked up the quest and I picked up the guy, and then I just rode through the gates and got this. Now for Horde, we've already traveled here, so you already have video of me, even with my girl right here, Gleek and Soul. You already have video of me suicide running and making it into Darnassus. So while it might be annoying, we can absolutely do it again. Jeez, what the heck? That turtle really came after us. Okay, we did just get a couple more scales. Thank goodness. I'm going to eat another one of these fish. We're up to 16 now, so we need 24 more scales. Doable, annoying as Horde. Okay, then we come into Darkshore. Actually pretty easy. On the way up there, you can grab it with either. It's kind of right outside Aberdeen. Not hard at all. Ashenvale, really not too bad. You can swim in as a Horde and get it from the top from Astronar. Okay, cool. Then I came into Fellwood, just picking that up. It's outside of one of the little towns. No worries. Easy peasy. Now, you can also port to Moonglade. So there's a quest you have to turn in there. We'll port there. That's not a big deal either to get to Moonglade. I mean, it's actually easy. You port there. When you come through here, you can run through the Furbolg Tunnel. It's not that hard. I did die on one of my characters right as I almost exited, so it's probably a chance we'll die, but that's okay. Because then when we respawn, you can respawn right here in Everlook, and that's fine. And then there's two in Winter Spring. There's one in Everlook, and there's one right outside Everlook. So not too big a deal. No worries. So all that's good. Then come down to Ajara. We actually flew over, came here, and then it's a little bit of an annoying walk to get down to Skygleam, but totally doable. And there you go. That's another one done. All of that was fine. This is all. I did this on both accounts yesterday. Okay, then on the Horde, easy, walk in, and actually it was not hard at all on my mage. You can stay on your mount. It's right there. I just put on my ice shield before I got on my horse, and I just ran my horse in. I never got dismounted. I made it all the way to the thing. I got to the Elder, and then I ran on horseback all the way out. I was fine. I had no issues. I did not die coming in or coming out. I mean, sure, some of that could have been luck, but no worries altogether. So that was pretty cool. And then when you come out, then you go down into Durotar and go to Razor Hill. Easy peasy. It's a low-level little city, so even on Alliance, nothing really worth worrying about. Cool. Then we went into the Barrens, and you get Crossroads, Ratchet, and Camp Tarajo. No worries there. They're all outside of their respective cities, and that one's neutral. Pretty easy. Stone Talon doesn't have one. So there you go. So that's one of the few zones you can skip. Makes up for some of these being double. Then we went into Mulgore. Bloodhoof is easy. I did die on my Alliance character once. I had to do one corpse walk to get to the Elder that's at the back up there. I couldn't get through the tunnel to get onto the bridge. Couldn't happen. So obviously it was easy as pie on my Horde. Okay, we just got 2 more scales. I think that puts us at 18. Yep, we need 22 more. So this is a little bit time consuming, but it's not like the end of the world. Alright. And this is where I stop. There are none in Desolus. However, there is one under the ground in Maraudon. I'm going to maybe try it later tonight. I maybe won't. I probably, depending on how long this video takes me, I might not have time to do it. I'm a little scared because it's deep underwater in the princess part of Maraudon. Maybe I can find someone that can either run me there or has an open Maraudon that could just let me piggyback in there to get the Elder. I'm not going to pay someone for it. I'm not worried about doing it on my other character because I can stealth. But I am worried about doing it on this Shaman. Did we just get a turtle scale? Yep, we're at 19. 21 to go. So, however, that being said, I think maybe with some invisibility potions, with some help, I think we could get it done. Okay, then we continue to look forward. All right, Well, if we go to Feralis, there's one on the outside of Dire Mall. That's fine. And there's one by Camp Mojache. So those will be fine. There are none in Duskwallow Marsh, so that's fine. And then you go to Thousand Needles, there's 2. Free Wind Post. That one probably is going to be a suicide run for the Alliance. And there's one in the Shimmering Flats, so not the best, but still very doable. Oh man, what is she doing? I'm just sitting there. That's insane. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and eat one of my fruitcakes. Okay. Alright, so that one's fine. Then you go into Tanaris. There is one on the outskirts of Zul'Farrak. It's actually in Zul'Farrak. But Zul'Farrak, because you can stay mounted, I'm not as worried. It's not that big of a dungeon. I feel like we can run there and make it. I will survive at level 50. It'll be okay. We'll get it done. Okay, and then inside Gadgetzan there's one, and down there in the Gates of Uldum there's one. Those are both fine also. We'll be able to get all of those done. Not really worried about it. I'm looking for more of these wine. I don't know why I can't find any. Alright, and then in Ungoro Crater, there's one down there. I don't know if there's a second one. I think there's just the one. That's fine. Ungoro Crater will be fine. Even at 50, we'll be fine. And Silithus, because they're in little areas, not in like a raid or anything, we will also be fine. I'm not really worried about it. So out of all of those, none of them are really that big. I'm not worried about the Zul'Farrak or the Dire Maul. The Maraudon's the only one that I'm worried about on this continent. And I should know by the time we film again, I should be able to tell you how easy it was or not to get Maraudon. Because I'll do it with my mage. My other guy, my druid, I'll stealth, it'll be easy. And, you know, if I have to get invisibility potions, I can do it. And with her, I could make them, because I have an alchemist. So I could make them, and then send them. If we just plan ahead. Come on. Okay. Dang it. Alright, so then that brings us to the Eastern Kingdoms. I'm a little bit more scared about the Eastern Kingdoms. Not gonna lie. So, starting at the top here, we have the Tirisful Glades, which has an easy one in Brill, and then we have the Undercity. It's actually kind of at the top of the Undercity. As far as capitals goes, it's fine. Western Plaguelands, there's one on the outside of Scholomance, that's fine, and there's one over here. So those 2 elders, fine. Eastern Plaguelands, there's 1, 2, 3. There are 3 on the outskirts. We'll be fine on that. No worries. But there is one inside Stratholme. Okay, we got another scale. Luckily, we are down to needing 20 scales. We're halfway done on this scale search of ours. Alright, so I am worried as heck about the Stratholme one. I have no idea how I'm going to get there. I don't know exactly. There's a port finally right there. I have no idea how I'm going to get it. I truly don't. I haven't researched it. I don't know how easy it is to get to, but I'm freaking scared, and I don't know. Like I said, I know I could probably stealth there, depending on where it's at with my druid. Anything else, I just don't know. I don't know what to do. Maybe, I mean, at 50, we can at least get into it. But I don't know if we can get a group to let us tag along. Can we let someone... Okay, we got 2 more. We are down to needing 18. Let me go get that bottle. Here, this will be our 5th one of these. So yeah, that's a high concern for me. Then, if we kind of cut back over, this is where we're at right now, the Hinterlands. So the Hinterlands has one in the middle. That's easy peasy. No worries at all. No stress about that one. That's just an easy little thing. There's another port. Good. Okay. Then you cut over further into There are none in the ruins of Alterac, it looks like. Great. And you also look at... There's one by the Sepulchre. Easy. And in Hillsbrad itself... Looks like there's none in Hillsbrad. Oh, that's cool. And then in Arathi, it also looks like there's none. Oh, okay. Great. So we need to ditch some... I'll ditch this spotted yellow tail. Oh, we got another black pearl. Alright, so I'm gonna go... I guess we don't have to sell quite yet. Alright, so that brings us through 3/4 essentially of the game, and the only thing that we've really I'm terrified about is Strathel. We keep working our way south. Wetlands doesn't have any. Awesome. Loch Modan has one, but that's easy. It's outside that little starter thing. Then we make our way over. Dunmorog has one in the center. Plus, there's also one up in the capital of Ironforge. Of course there is, and so, you know, that is what it is. We'll have to be okay, but we'll be fine. Breaking into Ironforge after all the other crap we're going to do, that's going to be the least of our worries. Okay. We have half of our port, but we really need more of those two. Alright, so then that brings us... It looks like there is one in Searing Gorge. We'll come back to that one. If it's out, it might be fine. There are none in the Badlands, it looks like. That's cool. Then in Burning Steps, there is one on the outside. Looks like there's one on the inside, and then this Ironband the Elder. That one right there, that Ironband the Elder, that's not actually... I believe that's in Blackrock Depths, so... There's real cause for concern. Okay, we're up to 25. We did get a couple turtle skills there. Real cause for concern. I have no freaking clue. I believe that there is. So this is Ironband the Elder. Dawn Strider the Elder. I'm not sure, but it's my understanding that there is one in Blackrock Depths and one in Lower Blackrock Spire. I don't know. So it's my understanding that there are 2 dungeons. I don't know if I missed that one before, but this is the halfway mark here of these wine bottles. So that's obviously a concern. I haven't researched it. Now, the only thing that might be good for us there, depending on where it's at, is there's some kind of city-like action there with neutral mobs. Maybe. The only other thing we can hope for is that we can get some raid team that will let me tag along. But again, that's time-consuming. So I don't know what we're going to do. I truly just don't know. Okay, we got another one. 26, we're down to 14. There's another bottle. Outside of that, though, as we continue to work our way down, sure, there's one in Stormwind. And outside in Goldshire. No worries there. We'll get there. Is it annoying or not? We'll get there. There are none in Red Ridge Mountains. Cool. Westfall, there's one. Easy. Easy peasy. Duskwood, there are none, it looks like. Deadwind Pass, there are none. Swamp of Sorrows, there's one in the Sunken Temple. So I don't know if that one is outside or inside. I think it's inside, so that one's going to be pain. Luckily, though, there's Sunken Temple runs going on all the time. And we can definitely tag along on a Sunken Temple run if we have the time. If we have the time. If not, we could try to... I don't know. We could try to stealth our way there if I buy a lot of invisibility potions. I don't know. That one, I feel like... Because I kind of know the layout of it, it's possible that we'll be able to get in there. And then in Burning Steps, no. Blasted Lands, there's one down there. We should be able to get it. And in Stranglethorn, there's one outside Zul'Grub, maybe? And there's one in Booty Bay itself. Those are both fine. So, as I just outlined, there are some, and until I finish doing the research, I'm freaking scared. But even beyond just the research, the time it is going to take us to do this is not nothing. Okay, we're up to 18 scales. I'm gonna eat another one of these fish. 18 scales. We need a total, 28 scales, so we need 12 more. So I'm going to research, I'm going to experiment. Anything my mage can't do, we're going to be really, really stuck on. Excuse me. The problem is the amount of time. That is our largest. More than anything else, time is our enemy because I just don't. Like, we could organize and sit around and beg and wait for raids every single night. But doing one of these every night, oh gosh. So the ultimate goal is going to be hoping that there's some way we can get into these areas either through the use of help, lucky help pulls, invisibility potions, or just running. Now we do have reincarnation as an option for Gleek and Soul, so it's almost like a one-time per hour feigned death. Speaking of, we need to buy some more onks. I think I'm down to like one.
Inventory is full.
Yeah, sure it is. Sure it is. Sure it's full. Alright, I'm selling my night crawlers. Alright. Cool, we got some more. We're up to 30 scales. I think I'm just missing a lot of these bottles of wine. Okay, we're up to 9. We only need 3 more bottles, and we've got ourselves to the final little area. The waterfall. It's actually, I think it's at the bottom of this waterfall. Yeah, in this chest. You open the chest to discover an explorer's knapsack. And 6100 XP. So we've completed a quest. Look at us. Cortello's Riddle Part 3. So we can check that box. It is done. Oh, you know what? We never went and did our grim message either. We need to do that also. So we have to go up here before we leave. We got to go get that grim message taken care of. I'm gonna kill this turtle since he's right here. And then we got to turn around. Look at that chonky hit. And yeah, we're at 30. We're down to needing 10 scales, so we're almost there. And we're going to fly to... I mean, when all's said and done, we have to go to Fairless if we have time. So that's the state of the GleeCon universe right now. We have... Oh, our skinning's up to 299. Look at us. We have good... I have good things. I'm confident I can get this done, like I said, on my other characters. These characters just being a little bit more low level. If it's insane, then we might just be screwed, and this might just have to be something we come back and do next year. I hope to find out how hopeless it is or not. I mean, the other option is that we run everything except the dungeon ones, and then I show you at least how to get to them with my cat character. It would be a lame kind of halfway, but might it be better than nothing? Maybe, but kind of no. The completionist inside me just cringes at the thought. So I hope we don't have to do that. All right, we finally, after all that, we just all of a sudden busted out the rest of our port. We have all 12 bottles of Popelli Verbose port. Oh, there's Gamrita, just chilling. But we still need 10 more. We're 3/4 of the way done. We still need 10 more turtle scales in order to be done here. And then we also need to go get these wither bark skulls, which we need, how many? 20. So we have a little bit of journeying ahead of us. And we have to go... I mean, we need to go to Booty Bay, but we also need to go to Perilous. So we need to fight Negolash, and we also have to hope that we can fight, that we can get that last page. We still need page 8 of the Green Hills of Stranglethorn. That's also going to perhaps slay us. Of course we can't. Oh, let's open up this bag. 14, 12, 10. Oh my gosh. I'm going to replace this. Would I rather have the Deviant Hide pack or the Murloc skin bag? I kind of like a Murloc skin bag more. Something about that is just kind of funny. Alright, that gives me a couple more slots. Cool. So we now are up, down to having 3 slots. So we can open this up a little bit. And we got no turtle. No turtle shell offered that one. What? I could have sworn Gamrita was just coming for me. She's coming right for me. Yeah, so I don't know. That's the plan. Now, tomorrow I have an extraordinarily late night. I have a full day. It's going to be a 14-15 hour day. There's some extracurricular stuff. I basically have, you know, a full day of work, and then I have some extra work I have to do. A work event that's going to take an extra few hours. So my work day is going to be 11-hour day tomorrow, and then right after work my son has a school event I have to go take him to, like a high school prep. I'm an 8th grader and now I'm getting ready for high school kind of thing, and that's a couple hours long. So yeah, plus you add in my commuting time. Like, I'm gonna leave the house probably around 6 in the morning or something tomorrow, and I probably will not be home till 9 o'clock at night. So the chances of me coming home after that and busting out like a 2-hour, it's not going to happen. I don't even think I'm going to do a short one. And I'm not going to, if I have any extra time, it's got to go into the Elder Scrolls, or whatever they're called, Elder Coins, not into the Patreon. So Patreon will probably take a break this week. Alright, where are we sitting at? 32. So 8 more scales. But that is what it is. But that's really less to complain or gripe or whatever, and more to explain what the schedule will look like. I will squeeze in, if I get another good day like I did today on Wednesday, I might try to squeeze in one, but more likely than not, I'll just give you guys a... I don't know, I have to look at kind of seeing my life. Like I said before, I'm in the midst of just craziness. Really, really busy time. Alright, I need to make my way back and sell there too. No scales. Okay. Still need 8 more scales. Yeah, Marita really wants to die. Look at her just cruising. Time's going okay, though. It's really... Can we find someone to help us kill Negolash? And if not, can I kite it? And will page 8 be for sale this time? Because if we have to grind for it, then we're indefinitely screwed. And then if that's the case, if we get screwed, then I will try and make another episode. Because like I said, I have to be rigid. I need a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday record schedule. Is the only way we even have a chance of doing Lunar Festival on camera. And that still requires so much luck, because will we be able to do the raid? I don't think you know. Because there's a raid at the end of it all. You have to be able to summon and participate in this raid. Come on. What? Oh, I wasn't hitting with my hammer. I did it again. I don't know what makes me do that sometimes. Idiot. I'm such an idiot. Okay, we got a turtle scale. Good. We're down to needing 7. After I just sat there in dumbness, I'm gonna eat another food after this fight. True silver right there. For you miners out there. Alright, so what else do we have on the grind? After this is all done, the next zone that we have in the docket is we'll be starting the next tier. So that's cool, right? Which I never... Oh, we got 2 that time. That's good. So we... Look at all that. I need to replace all of those. They're sitting there empty. What do we need? Yeah, we need 5 more scales. But yeah, this next tier is the Hinterlands, Tanaris with Zul'Farrak, Searing Gorge, and Feralus with Maraudon. So we're getting close to doing Maraudon. We're about to enter that tier because we're basically done with this tier. Hinterlands is not too bad, and we have that up on the deck. And Tanaris with Zul'Farrak, that's all ready to go too. So at the rate we've slowed down to, it's allowed me to catch up kind of with my other off-camera stuff, and we're fine. And that means I'm going to be starting Searing Gorge off-camera. I believe that's not too super long of a zone. And then Feralus, Maraudon. So I should be able to keep up at that clip, get those done, and we should be able to keep, if we keep going at the rate that we're going, and we should be fine. Finish those, you know, whatever. It's, like I said, slowing down some, but we'll get that chunk done over the next few months. Got 2 more scales. Fantastic. All right, so we're down to needing 3 scales. Let's get this guy that's like craning his neck. And then the penultimate tier comes after that with the Fellwood, Ajara, Ungoro Crater, and Blasted Lands, which caps off Sunken Temple. So, I mean, really, we're ready to go on all zones, except for the endgame zones. Because our characters could already handle even Blasted Lands right now. We could start questing there if we want. We already can handle doing Sunken Temple if we want. It's already within our power range as level 50 characters, and we will have much time leveling up between now and then. So that's cool. And also, Sunken Temple is the last pre-game, like, dungeon. That's not a end-game high-level dungeon. The final tier will open up with Western Plague Lands, which means Scholomance is going to open up in there. Although I don't know that we'll do it right away, because there's also Burning Steps. Burning Steps will open up the actual true endgame dungeons, or pre-endgame dungeons, because Blackrock Depths has to happen before we do Scholomance, as does Lower Blackrock Spire. So we'll have to do Western Plagues and come back. Ooh, that was a big hit. Okay. Yes, we're down to needing 2 scales. So I mean, Western Plaguelands is easier than Burning Steps, but that dungeon, so we're going to just have to see how that goes. Probably we'll do Western's Plaguelands, hold off on Scallamance, then go do Burning Steps. Then come back and do Scallamance right after. So then do Lower Blackrock Spire and Blackrock Depths. Do both of those two. Then go do Scallamance. Then head back and do Eastern Plaguelands, which will cap us off with Stratholme.
I can't carry anymore.
Really, can't you not? I'm going to get rid of this. Just the pack turtle meat. We need one more scale. Yeah, Upper Blackrock Spire, Stratholme, Live and Dead, Dire Maul, those are all ready to go at 62. So I guess we would just kind of start messing about. So basically when we enter that final tier, we will do Western Plaguelands, but not do a dungeon. Then we'll do Burning Steps, and then that will open up Blackrock Depths, Lower Blackrock Spire, and Scallamance. Bam, bam, bam. We'll have this just period of time where we're doing all of those. Bunch of dungeons in a row.
Inventory is full.
Then we'll come back and do Eastern Plaguelands. And Eastern Plaguelands. Then we can do Dire Maul, Stratholme, and Upper Blackrock Spire. All of them. And then we'll sort of kind of be done a little bit, because then what we'll do is just kind of, I'm really hoping we just get this other thing so I don't have to eat anything else. Ah, we did not. Dang. We just need stinking one more scale. Yeah, to wrap it up at the very, very end, it's just Winter Spring and Silithus. So I would probably do Winter Spring first. And then just complete it, not do any raids or anything. And then do Silithus, and then that will open up us starting to be able to do raids at the end, where we'll have Molten Core, followed by running Onyxia, followed by doing Blackwing Lair. So these are all, I think, easier raids, shorter raids. Then go do Zulgrub. So also just very open, very commonly run things. Then go run the World Dragons after that. Oh, gosh. Jeez. All right, let me eat one of my fruitcakes again. And then the Temple and Ruins of Ahn'Qiraj are the end. Followed by, I guess, I don't know where Naxxramas is supposed to be. I don't know if Naxxramas is a dungeon. I mean, it's a raid that's, I think it's still available. I just don't, I think people are like really particular about who they run Nax with and where you can run it. So it's, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But as we start to get into raiding and stuff and start doing some of those more end gamey kind of things, we're gonna just feel it out. I'm still gonna play them. I am gonna do them, but we might start working on other content if it's slowing us down too much to try to get geared and try to get in there. I don't know. I don't know if I'll have to. I just don't know what I would do. I don't know if I'll have to be a scummy pay to win. I just don't know what I can do to keep the show running. I mean, there's a reason why so many streamers are pay to win, and that's because
I can't carry anymore.
some of what we have to deal with, the time constraints of the show. Dang. Guess I'll get rid of this clam meat. It doesn't sell for very much. I want to go sell it. I just want one more. Oh my gosh. I wish one of my kids out there would do something about the Chihuahua that's barking 8,000 times louder than the size of her body. I suspect that what's happening is my daughter just got home from work, and as the dog hears her coming in, she's losing her mind. That seems to track. Yeah, so I'm hesitant to even give us a timetable as I've done in the past in this show, because things change in my life. Things change with the rate at which I can complete this show. Thank goodness we got the final turtle show. Gosh. Alright, so now we're going to go back into the business model here. The business mode. I don't know what I'm doing. We're going to go back to the town, sell off the trash, and before we head out of this town, we have to go get this Witherbark Skull situation taken care of. But yeah, in the short term, we're going to be spending the next week until Tuesday of next week. We'll be spending that all on Lunar Festival, so that's all you're going to see over the next week, 8 days of this show. Minus maybe like a short episode. And let's see. That brings us to mid-February. I almost sold those turtle shells. Not that I couldn't buy them back, but yeah, my bags are sort of kind of messed up right now. Okay. What is this thing? Still his bottle. Got it. Alright. Bag's cleaned up a little bit. Alright. Now before we go, we need to go collect 20 Witherbark Skulls. Also, by the way, just killing the turtles, we leveled up and we gained almost 25% of a level. Just grinding out those turtle shells. So that's pretty cool. That's good. Yeah, if I just wanted to vaguely, roughly spitball, Hinterlands is really just going to take, let's just say 4 episodes each. So let's say that means Hinterlands will take, that's a total of 8. So next week we'll get a couple done. Then the following week maybe 4 more. And the following week wrapping it up and just starting the next. So as we enter into March, we should be beginning Tanaris. Same deal. So as we get towards the end of March, before we wrap March, Tanaris and Zul, at the rate we've been going, Tanaris and Zul'Farrak should be wrapped up, and we should just be starting Searing Gorge, which is where we are right now. And then as we head into April, we should finish, so probably by the end of April as we head into May, Fairless, Maraudon, that should be done. So as we hit summer, we should be hitting the penultimate tier. And then once we hit summer, then all bets are off. And we're going to be going back to a minimum of 5 long play episodes a week. And so that should be getting close to finishing. So over the first month of summer, Felwood, Ajara, Ungoro Crater, Blasted Land, Sunken Temple, that should all be done. And yeah, I surmise that by the time we hit next fall, as we get into the August-ish time of year, by then we should be getting to endgame, raiding a lot of those dungeons done, working just, you know, there's going to be dungeons here and there as we get them done, but it should be real close to endgame, so that's pretty good. So about 6 months from now. So I anticipate within about 6 months we should finally be getting near the end. The end should be in sight for Classic, which is good. We can start, running other kinds of content, like playing Burning Crusades. But you never know what's going to happen. What will happen with this game in the next 6 months? I don't know. What will happen with the state of Anniversary by then? I don't know. What will happen to my own life and career? I don't think to know. I'm at the busiest point of my year, mega busy. February, March, April, May. Those 4 months are just really January also, but we can cut that out because it's half of January. But it's just, that's the third of the year that is just bonkers. Particularly from now until April is, well, it's really all, May is insane. It's really bonkers time of year for me. And I just don't know where I'm going to be at professionally and psychologically at the end of this 4 months. I don't know. It might be time for a change. It's a very likely possibility. So, all right. So we need to get these guys' skulls, and then we place the skulls somewhere. Where? Oh, right over there. So we can kill some of these dudes. We need 20 skulls. I don't know if that means we've got to kill 20 trolls. If that's the case. These guys are packed close enough together. Let me get some totem action going on here. I'm gonna put all these totems down. Okay, because if it's like 1 skull per dude, then let's go for it. Deal with this poison. If they're gonna keep poisoning me, then I need to switch over to the poison cleansing totem. Okay, so yeah, we need 20 skulls. Jeez. Okay, it looks like perhaps it's gonna be 2 skulls each. I mean, 1 skull from each guy, so 100% drop rate. It's just that we need 20 of them. So, whatever. Fine. At least we know what we're getting at. Okay, we're an hour into this episode too, so I mean, the good thing is not a ton of time needed. Okay, let's go up in here and drop some more. What are they doing? They are like instantly killing some of my other totems. Oh gosh. Do I not have any potions? Oh, I do have some. Good. Come on, come on, come on. Jeez, ooh, that was a nice hit. Oh gosh, I'm gonna aggro a couple more on. Alright, so I gotta escape here, or else I'm gonna die. I ran by that totem. What do we have for skulls? I don't know. I gotta get out of here and find out. Alright, so a little bit, greedy with my totems. It's okay. Yeah, and I mean, it's just... not to get into one of my little ranting, self-pitying, whatever kind of episodes I have where I talk too much about my career, but I'm just... It's... those that have been following the show for a while know that I've had a lot of ups and downs with that over the past year, and I have had a lot of situations where I really felt like I was right there with about to get opportunities opportunities that I felt I deserved. Or, you know, I guess there's no such thing, but then I felt I was the most qualified person to do. And didn't work out that way multiple times. And my reward has been, and you know, a lot of the times when there's a lot of ways that, you know, you can be signaled that it's time to move on from a job when you see it happening to other people on the outside. You know, people can start being jerks to you, or you can be passed over multiple times or whatever. Or you can be given like the crap assignment, or really just slammed and put in a position to either be overwhelmed or to fail. And I don't necessarily think that's where I'm at. I don't. Okay, by the way, we have 8 of these skulls. I don't think that's what's happening with me. I think that I'm torn, because the people that know at my job, that are sort of on my team, so to speak, and that know what I do, they are all of basically one mind. Like, dude, you are a fool to not have left. This is multiple people, tons of people that know me at work and to some extent outside of my job are like, dude, you need to leave, and basically leave them high and dry. And essentially the entire chunk of infrastructure that goes through me at the school needs to just be back to going through you. And while there is a little leverage, so for instance, if I did just up and leave the job high and dry, well, they could certainly, if I wanted to stay in the same field and still work for what I do, I could be given a bad review if I did not leave them with a sort of an exit strategy, a transition plan from what I currently do. So the smart thing for me to do would be to make sure I already had a plan set up. I already had an approved job before any of that came into play. And so part of me is like, yeah, you know what? If you're not going to give me the financial compensation and power compensation, I should leave. But anyway, the other part of it is they just continue to stack more and more things on me. This is the first time ever in the history of my career I have felt like there's not enough hours in the day to get everything done, and I have to make decisions on a daily basis about which deadlines are going to get missed. And I've never had to do that before. Like, or which things are just going to get rushed, and I'm going to cross my fingers and hope, ask for forgiveness rather than, you know, checking to make sure, just that sort of thing. So I've never been in a situation like that before, to where I can work 50 plus hours a week, where I can come home and work from my computer at home, work nights, come in and work weekends, all without pay, all without compensation, all with having taken a pay cut. And it doesn't matter. It truly doesn't matter. It doesn't. I might get every once in a while like, oh, good job. You know, hey, good job on that, blah, blah, blah. But more likely to be let known that I am disappointing. So, I don't know. Anyway, my bad, guys. Sorry. It's just been that kind of time for me, and I'll get through it. I will. But I don't know. There's So there is another branch of government nearby where someone that used to be my boss runs. And luckily I'm state government, not federal, because federal government seems like it's very uncertain right now, and that might trickle down to the state level. I don't know. But for now, it would appear that everything's okay, and I don't have to really stress that yet. Get very low on mana and resources, but I only need 3 more skulls. I don't know if I want to use something up. But I am contemplating applying in the facility where my previous boss works, and his number 2 is also really someone that I also get along with well. So going to the team that I really like to work for, and just saying, like, applying for anything I see in a few months that opens up, like, even if down to, like, janitor, and just getting an interview and walking in the door and saying, if you want me to mop the floors, I'll mop the floors. I basically ran huge chunks of the operation where I was, to where there's literally not a single department, task, job, role in the entire branch of government that I work at that you could not put me on and I could do it. And I might not be the best person ever at any particular thing, but there's got to be some value in being able to do everything, right? I don't know. Maybe there's not. Maybe I'm fooling myself. So part of me wants to take that option to just be like, you know what? It's time to give up on I've put in a decade at this place. I'm going nowhere. And let me just go there, hat in hand, and say, look, if you want me to wash the floors, I'll wash the floors. If you want me to do whatever, I'll do it. And just know that you'll have me in-house, and I can do anything that you need. So a kind of a 2 steps back in order to maybe take a step forward kind of deal. Another option, I mean, of course I'm going to just keep my eyes open for good job opportunities that are within my field. That would be a promotion for me. That's a no-brainer. Of course I'm going to pursue those, so sure. Could I continue down that path and get that opportunity? Absolutely. I was given a lot of interviews based on my qualifications over the past year. Just nothing panned out. And I was not the favorite on any of the applications. And even the one where I thought I failed. They sucked, I guess. So there's that. So there's the hat in hand. And then option 3 would be take a small pay cut, stay working in my general profession, general field, but work from home. So there are still companies, both private and in the public sector, that allow you to, for a little bit less pay, do what I do from home. And there is the spear. I don't even see it. Oh, here we go. There it is. We put a spear. It looks like it has like a single skull on it, not 20, whatever. All right, now we're going to hearth. We did that. Let's make sure Grim Message is done. Yep. All right, so we're getting out of here. We're going to hearth back to Orgrimmar now to do our leveling up, and then I guess we can go. I mean, yeah, let's do. We got some trade stuff. We look at. We'll hit the leather workers on the way because we can make all this other stuff too. Oh, let's look at the auction house, and we'll sell. So I don't know, and that kind of sounds good too, because if I did that, that would give me a lot more time to be with you guys. And that sounds quite nice. Let's go to the bank too. We gotta do all this stuff. So, just fully saying, you know what, screw it. Let me just end my ambition, work from home, collect my paycheck, do that.
Would you rather trust your goods with a goblin?
You know? That's a total possibility. Excuse me. All right, let's put those in there. Okay. Oh, I do have a couple of those Shadowcat hides. There. Let's see, please, 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 if we can get a Green Hills page 8. Lordy, lordy. What's our record time at right now, too? Okay, we're doing okay. I mean, we're at a pretty good amount of time, but yes. Oh, thank goodness. All right, so now that one's done. Sweet Mother Mary. All right. Let's go open that up. Okay, so that means we have that. We can turn in those. That was a wild card. So now we're all set. We're all safe. Literally, the only thing left for us to do is, can we find somebody to help us with Negolash? And we also can make these leatherworking things and just pick those quests up real quick too. So we are gonna fly to Feralus right there. Then I'm gonna astral recall back here. We're gonna take the Zeppelin over to Gromgal, where we will turn in the Grim Message, and then we'll go up and turn in chapter 1, and then the whole book. We'll read that together. And finally, we will head down south, turn in Whiskey Sims, Lost Grog, deliver to MacKinley, and hope we can get Negolash. So that's great. All right, so what do we need here? We need 2 Nightscape tunics. So let's get our leatherworking supplies. We need silken thread. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to create 2 Nightscape tunics. We need those for the quest. When this is done, also we're going to get our hides. I'm going to make my hides while I'm here. This takes a long time. What does this do? It's a leather armor. It's pretty good leather armor, actually, for like a cat or a rogue. Requires 36, so it is right below that male level if you were a hunter or a shaman still. So decent. Yikes, this takes a long time. Okay, there you go. We got one of those pieces. Cool. We actually should be able to hit. What's this? We have a 245. We have a 240. Oh yeah, I got to do this first mate hat. I don't know what I'm going to do with that thing. We have a 290. Holy cow! Why am I holding on to that? I don't even know if I'm going to be a tribal leather worker. I don't know what's the better between the two. There's tribal leatherworking and there's the other kind. Wild. I don't know. I can't remember what I picked, what your choices are, or if there's a certain... I don't remember. All right, we'll look that up while we build our 2 Nightscape headbands. Okay, so let's look up leatherworking. Classic... Okay. So we're doing this junk, artisan, Nightscape headband. That's supposedly the best. We're at 227. So they just want you to build a ton of those. All right, so you can go Dragon Scale, Elemental, or Tribal. Dragon Scale is going to give us male. Elemental Resistance, Leather type Agility. Tribal, Leather type Intellect and Agility. And Devil Sword. Okay, so let's see what's better. What type of leatherworking is better for Resto Shaman Classic? Let's see. I'm talking about Classic WoW, not So it says tribal. Which... Okay, so that one's done. Cool. Now we need... Oh yeah, let's get these two. Okay, leather type, intellect and agility and devil sword. It just sounds like people want that anyway. Helm in the Wild. Raw bonus healing. Need 27 salt. That's a lot of salt. Okay. All right. Ba, 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 ba. Useless for... Is it? Spirits useless for shaman? Okay, what's this? That's resto tier. Drums? That's not here in Classic. Alright, and then I only have 2 thick hides, so I can make those. Okay. Great. Alright, so now back to the turtle stuff. We need, for the quest, turtle scale gloves, turtle scale breastplate. So, heavy silken thread. Okay. Yeah, it's not really saying a lot. I don't care about Burning Crusade. Well, Classic. Dragon Scale is best for shamans for personally. Elemental Leatherworking is for rogues. Tribal is for druids. Dragon Scale is shamans hunters. Okay. So we now need 2 turtle scale breastplates. Yeah, so I really think I'm going to probably go with the dragon scale. Just because I think that that's pretty cool. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go dragon scale. When I have a choice. That's what I'm going to pick. I don't care. I'd like the ability to potentially build mail that I might actually use. That might be cool. Alright, so this was all a side journey that we were on, so to speak. And we have done a lot with it. Oh, we're still going to need to do one more. And I don't even know what the deal is with my training. I have we have a lot of thick leather. And we're at 232. We're going to be at 233 after this, so that's cool. I think 240 is the lowest thing I have. Yep, those tough scorpion shoulders. I mean, if you think about it, we want to be at around 250, so, you know, we're not quite there, but... What is this? Yeah, the thick armor kits are a little low right now, but there's that trainer that's in Fairless, and we're going to go there. Deal with all that. I'm going to put this cured medium hide in my bag. You know what? Cured heavy? We're dealing with thick. So that means cured thick is probably what I want, not cured heavy. Right? Uh-huh. Don't care about that. So if I were to stick with what I actually have, the tough scorpion bracers, but I don't have those. Thick, I do have cured thick, but I don't have the greater defense, and I'm not buying the agility, so screw both of those. So that takes me to, but the turtle scale are too annoying to build. So this is why they want you to build these headbands. Yeah, 5. It's just easy peasy. Just build a bunch of headbands, and that's probably what we'll do.
Would you rather trust your good
Alright, so we're going to deposit these hides, and the heavy hides too. We have rugged that we still need to keep. Thick we still need. Okay. I do need a couple more onks, but I'll worry about that later. Alright, we're going to go fly to Fairless. It says I need a fishing boat. We do have to do some fishing one of these days too, but we're going to have to catch that up when we're not on crunch time. The episode might run a pinch long today just because I want to be able to finish all of this. We are so close. So close. Love that we can turn in Green Hills of Stranglethorn now. Love it. Alright, let's fly to Fairless.
You haven't lived until you've looked down on the world from the back of a wind rider.
There we go. Camp Mojache. Then we can turn in these 3. So wild leather vest, wild leather helmet, and what's the other one? Wild leather shoulders. So let's go ahead and get that on our professions. Let's get a few more of these guys in. Okay, profession, quest, leatherworking. What's it called? Wild leather vest, helmet, and shoulders. Wild leather vest. Okay, I don't think I actually showed me picking those up. I didn't, but I did. So we'll be like, pick it up, turn it in, and then so we'll just say that we picked up and turned in all 3 of those quests. And it's probably going to give us a few more. I don't know that we're going to actually mark them off, but it is what it is. Because it looks like we're going to then get the next 3, which we'll mess with later. If you say Chuck Norris in the mirror 3 times, he puts hair on your chest and a beard. Yeah, so that's it for GleeCon. That's it for my story, and I do, again, apologize. But that's the crossroads I'm at. Right now, I'm just going to plug away, and it does, life is what it is. I'm going to do my best to just enjoy life as it comes. Keep enjoying playing with you guys. We have cool goals on this game, and that will only continue to grow. And who knows what the future will bring. And there's also another, there's multiple different options. My daughter also was talking to someone who runs similar business to what I do, but they're a private sector business. They are opening up in a few months, maybe 6 months' time. And they were holding like a kind of an opening event, like sponsored by them, but they haven't finished like their groundbreaking or whatever yet. So, there's a potentially there. My daughter was talking to them, describing what I do, and they said that I sound like I'm highly qualified and they would be interested in me. So, you never know. This is coming from my daughter at some event, so that could be nothing, or it could be, you never know what kind of doors will open in life. Or maybe in the next 6 months, somebody at some company sees one of these videos, or someone at Blizzard, and reaches out to me and says, we want you to, join the fold of Blizzard, or we want you to join our own whatever, something having to do with playing this game for a living, in which case I would set my hair on fire and run screaming in the direction, in a good way. Like, absolutely. Yeah, so I just don't know. And I've talked about my world traveling, not my world, my Appalachian Trail through hike experience. I made that plan on this camera about a year ago, and I said I was setting a 5-year timeline. So we're coming up on 1 year into that timeline. So in 4 years, unless my career has just reached such apexes of success that I couldn't, that I had seriously changed my life plans, I'm going to be needing to go on a 6-month sojourn on foot. So it's still something I plan, read about, study in the back of my mind. All right, so other games. What other video games are coming up? I heard there's a Switch 2 coming out. I'm interested in that. I have still been slow playing along on my Baldur's Gate. If you check out the Patreon, it crashed my episode last episode. But I am still actively working on the Assassin's Creed, lore of Assassin's Creed. We have some other episodes coming up. I don't even know. I'm in the middle of a DS game right now. If I just take a peek at my copy sheet here, I think what's left, I don't know that this is the correct order and that there is something out of order about this. There might be other stuff in here. I just haven't really looked at it, but we're doing this right now, and then I'm going to have to examine the 2009 things. Yes, there's Assassin's Creed 2. Yes, there is a DS game called Assassin's Creed Bloodlines I'll have to play. Yes, there is a mini-series Assassin's Creed Lineage that I'll have to view and discuss. But I think there's also a mobile phone game. And there may be something else on top of it. So that's just something to look at too. When someone dies, an announcement goes out on the server announcing the death. I don't know what that means. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so I don't know what all this... Now they try and run into the elevator at the last second, the door closes on them, and they fall. How many tunes die in the UC elevator? I mean, I guess that's funny. I don't know. I've probably died there before. I think I've more died in, like, the pits of Ironforge. Alright, here's our guy.
Welcome to Camp Mojaji, brave adventurer. How may I assist you this day?
So, do you have the 6 thick armor kits and the wild vine I require? Think of making armor kits as a lesson in steady and reliable crafting. The consistent fashioning method you develop as you ply your trade on these kits helps develop your skills for the intricate work needed to make wild leather armors. Every lesson has a purpose, Gleek and Soul. It is important to embrace each one accordingly.
These armor kits are of solid quality, adventurer. If there's one thing I demand in not only my work, but in the work of those I give tutelage to, it is quality. You've done well to earn this pattern. I hope it brings you the rewards it has.
That's cool. So we're now learning wild leather shoulders. What's that like? Wild leather shoulders. That's cool. It takes wild vine though. It just is. Oh, it's random. Random enchantment. Oh, I don't know about that. Okay, wild leather.
Walk with
No.
the earth, mother.
Wild leather helmet. Let's do. I need those tunics and headbands made, and I also need that piece of wild vine before I would share with you the knowledge of wild leather helmets. Headgear is highly coveted amongst adventurers, whether it be a disarmingly simple headband or a full covering helmet. The fundamentals of creating valued headgear remain constant, no matter what the cosmetic appearance of the gear is.
This nightscape equipment you have supplied perfectly meets the requirements I've given to you, adventurer. I expect no less from a leatherworker of your caliber. You have earned the honor of crafting wild leather helmets. I give this pattern to you freely, and hope you will profit from it.
Interesting. Okay, wild leather helmet, done. Also, I bet you it's the same thing. Same style, right? Except it takes 2, so I'd rather build the shoulders than the helmet. But yeah, again, just random. Wild leather vest. Do you have the 2 turtle scale breastplates and gloves? Also, don't forget the wild vine. Even with the earliest patterns, we learn that the fundamentals of shape translate well into more difficult garments. Though different items, the shape of the turtle scale breastplates prepares you for the detailing needed to make a wild leather vest. As you progress through your lessons, the skills I teach will become as
These
art.
are some very nice pieces here, adventurer. The craftsmanship and care put into making these show you have chosen to dedicate yourself fully to these tasks. You've met my requests, and with that comes your reward. The knowledge of making wild leather vests is now yours.
Okay, so learning this. Now I do feel like I saw something when we were looking at those guys. Maybe here in Arathi. Yeah, see, that's elemental leatherworking. But I want a dragon scale. Where the heck do you learn that? And I feel like in Stranglethorn, I saw the tribal leatherworking guy somewhere, but I just don't see him, like, out there. I don't know what the story is about that, and I don't know at all where the dragon scale... There it is right there. Dragon scale leatherworking is right out there. I wonder if this will send me that way. Wild leather boots?
Your knowledge of wild leather armor grows, adventurer. Still, there is more for you to learn. Wild leather boots are the cornerstone of any set. Such boots are crafted to cradle the foot in comfort while bracing it against the hazards of adventuring. The soft soles are a blessing to those seeking quiet movement in footwear. For this pattern, I need 2 nightscape pants and 2 nightscape boots crafted. I also will require 2 wild vines, not just 1. When you have these items, we will proceed.
Okay. And?
You are ready to master more complex lessons, adventurer. Wild leather leggings are some of the sturdiest and powerful leather gear around. The waist, thighs, calves, and the vitals all are given tremendous protection. Coupled with the enhancement that the wild vine provides, adventurers who own it will thank you each time they see you. For you to gain this pattern, I need 2 turtle scale helms, 2 turtle scale bracers, and 2 wild vines.
Okay. I feel like we've got some areas where we're okay here. All right, I don't know where. Yeah, where do we do
What brings you here?
our other? Yeah, see, this is
You have wasted your time and
There we
mind
go.
by coming to me for training.
Nightscapes. There we
I don't
go.
have time to teach basic skills. We're fighting
Okay,
for
so
glory.
we would
We're at
need
the front lines. Don't
2
forget
turtle scale
you
helms
are
and 2
more
turtle
prepared.
scale bracers. So we'll do this when we. So we will need 28 thick leather plus, holy cow, 48 turtle scales. So more of those. And plus another 24. So 60, 72 turtle scales. And 16 plus 28, 38, 40. So 44. We have enough thick leather. So that part's all fine. We do need 2 more wild vine, though. That's not ready to go. And then nightscape pants and nightscape boots. Do I have enough for that? I have the pants. Where do you learn nightscape boots? Okay.
Peace, friend.
That's not what I want to do. Let's go talk to her. Maybe she's there. If I can learn it at
You have wasted your
235.
time and mind by coming to me
Yes.
for training, adventurer.
Okay, so we actually can do... I think we can actually do this wild leather boots right now. Nightscape
Don't return
pants.
to me until you are more prepared.
Yeah, we can do this right now. So we need 4. Okay, so we can get the Nightscape pants, 2 copies of that, and then that will get us to 235, where we can then go learn the 2 pairs of Nightscape boots, and we already have 2 Wildvine. So we do need 2 more Wildvine, and we are going to need we're not going to do it this time because of all those turtle scales. We're not grinding that. We'll do that when we're in the hinterlands. How are we doing on time? Probably a little bit far. Yeah, we're pretty dense on our time here. But I want to finish this zone. And we're pretty much all the way done. We're going to go turn this in. We just need Negolash. Now that we have this Stranglethorn thing, like, we're really good. It's just a matter of turning in stuff. It's going to be a lot quicker than it seems. We have to read the story. We'll get that too. But this Nightscape Pants is slowing us down just a pinch. This, not Nightscape, whatever. You know what I mean. The Wild Leather side quests that we're doing. And that's pretty cool. So we have let's have some other things. We have those ranking of zones still to look at. Okay, so then let's go talk to the trainer.
You have wasted your time and mine by coming to me for training, adventurer.
Cured Rugged Hide. That's it. So those others are all at 250.
One of the front lines. Don't
Okay,
return to
now
me
we
till
need
you are
2
more
Nightscape boots. So heavy silken thread. Oh, wrong person.
You wish to speak?
They're expensive. Oh. Oh, dang it. I didn't need... I bought too many. I bought 1 heavy silken thread too many. That's a waste. Because it's 5 silver to sell it. Yeah, so I lost. I basically just took 13 silver and threw it on the ground and stomped it out. Now, this is also going to bring us down to just 11 leather, so that's pretty bad, too. And we need all the leather that we can get for these turtle scale helm and bracers. Kind of stuff on that. So, yeah, we need those leathers. We need the heavy silken thread, so I guess I will save it. I won't. It'll just be for later. And then we do need the 2 Wildvine. We're probably going to have to buy that because we're done. You get Wildvine from the trolls. Unless we get it while we're questing in the hinterlands. So that's a possibility also. But yeah, we need so many scales. And it's actually lower. Like, for whatever reason, these boots, the wild leather boots are easier to make. I don't know why. And 240, we're close on the tough scorpion shoulders. All right, there we go. So wild leather boots, we got... The pants, boots, and wild vines need to be delivered to me before you learn the pattern they consume. Have you done as I asked? From the earliest pair of boots we learn how to make, we start to understand that a quality boot needs to ride a razor's edge between comfort and function. With both, we are able to create items that allow the wearer to ignore fatigue that would cripple those wearing lower quality goods.
Once again, you have produced items with the skill of a seasoned professional. You have earned this pattern as well as my congratulations.
Alright, so unfortunately, we do not have the necessary goods. Okay. Alright, off we go. So, that took us half an hour to go to Orgrimmar and back. So we're at 237. We'll be above 240. Once we finish the turtle scales, we're going to probably have a lot more leather than we need. I don't think we have anything in the inventory that I want. So now it's traveling back to Stranglethorn. Yeah. This is a portal you can make if you do all the Lunarfest stuff, so you can use it to like make a portal. I don't know. So that shows that somebody's completed that. I don't know what the point is of doing the raid. That's honestly, of everything else, the ability for us to pull off the raid in time. While we wait on the Zeppelin, let's look that raid up and just see how crazy it is. Like, and that's the one reason I wish we were on Anniversary, because we could do the raid on that. We're going to go this way because I want to go to Booty Bay. All right, so if we look at the actual Classic Lunar Festival things, where's the raid? There we go. Elun's Blessing. Defeat, summon Omen, and defeat him. You don't have to participate in the raid. You just have to stand on his corpse once he's dead. Stand on the Omen. Click the buff off. Let it reapply. Click it off. Repeat the process until you get credit. 20 green rocket clusters. Okay. This is people just saying, no minions, no Omen. Oh, so the dogs are level 60s. That's going to be tough for our level 50s. Oh, it's a two-headed wolf. Okay. So I wonder if I would even be allowed in as a level 50. It's probably tougher than a core hound. Does hit very hard. Well, I guess the only thing, he is not tougher than a world boss. So he's tough. So he's really tough. It's a real raid. Did one man to test him. 9-player pug, mostly level 67. So I don't understand that. Yeah, you just have to get there to the corpse. Yep. So that's going to require some luck. Will people take him down? Can we get it? Now, with our other people where we're level 56, 54... Yeah, I think we might be screwed. Lunar Festival might truly be designed for level 60s, and there might not be any. I think I can complete them on my side account. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, because like I said, we can get lucky. If we can, as it said right there, if we can just find a raid group that has just done it, it's just going to be all about luck. I might have to camp it out. I don't know. But it just said if you were reading over my shoulder, you don't have to actually kill him. You just have to find his corpse. So if another raid group has recently killed him, go walk up on the body, and just by going over his corpse, you can trigger it and complete the quest. So here's the grim message. Word reached me of your deed, a grim deed, but one of honor. Let us hope the Witherbox heed our message. That's it. Nothing special. Oh, by the way, we had recently completed Wild Leather Boots. I wanted to tag that one in there too. Let's get that from our profession quest. So we did complete the 3rd Wild Leather. There's a Master of Wild Leather. That's cool. And then we also need to pick up one of those 3. Moonglow Vest is Alliance only, so we can't do that one. There we go. We did pick up and drop off Wild Leather Boots. So there's only a few of those left. Okay, now we're going to go up and turn in one, read the story, and then turn in the other two. So we do have some reading for us to do. Instructions unclear. I have Claire Huxtable in the freezer and my crusts are crushed. The number 3 best-selling shirt is I got a crush on Claire Huxtable and a freezer with an uncrustable. I got a crush on Claire Huxtable and a freezer with an uncrustable. What? I don't even know what that means. I have a Claire Huxtable. Oh, I see now. I said instructions unclear. I have a Claire Huxtable in the freezer. My crusts are crushed. Yeah, that's kind of a funny response. All right, guys. Oh yeah, let's do the whatever it's called too. The grim message. That was the lowest. Well, not counting the story that we're about to read. Yeah. Okay. Chapter 4.
What can I do for you?
Chapter 1. I don't suppose you're able to track down pages 1, 4, 6, and 8. Those 4 are all we need to piece Chapter 1 back together.
At last, chapter 1 is complete.
Thank goodness. Okay, so we've done Chapter 1. Let's just get a few more. Okay. Now, Chapter 1, we're finally finishing the lowest level ones that we still had. I love it. So before we turn it in, let's read the book. Okay. Chapter 1. On our first day went as well as one can expect first days to go. Most of our time was preoccupied with making the necessary arrangements to establish a base camp. I located an ideal setting by a freshwater river inlet. Judging by the old abandoned docks nearby, this site was inhabited some time ago. As for the original inhabitants, only time can tell that tale. For this expedition, I have assembled Ajek Ruak and Sir S.J. Earlgadin, along with my trusted servant Barnel Stonepot. I fought alongside Ajek's father's side in many battles in defense of the Alliance. Seeing her grown is quite special. Her father schooled her well in the ways of weaponry. Her skills with a bow make me wonder if there is elven blood running through those veins. Sir S.J. Earlgadin comes from human aristocracy. His father, Count Earlgadin, was renowned for his generosity. It was the Count who lobbied for improved working conditions for the Stonemasons Guild during the restoration of Stormwind after the Second Great War. In the years that followed after Stormwind betrayed the Stonemasons Guild, Sir Earlgadin grew bitter about the role of the nobles within the kingdom. He no longer wished to uphold the position that his father's bloodline had earned for him in the House of Nobles. But I digress. The purpose of this story is not to act as a political treatise or a biography. This is the account of my experiences hunting big game in the green hills of Stranglethorn. We rose with the sun. Barnel began to prepare the morning meal. I noticed Ajek's attention was somewhat distracted. The day's trek would be long, and our hunt would bring us close to danger. A lack of focus could easily lead to an errant mishap, yet Ajek seemed unable to divert her gaze from Barnel, who stood by the edge of the river rinsing out his mess kit. Just as I was about to question Ajek's lack of interest in the day's hunting strategy, she reached for her quiver, drew an arrow, and unleashed a shot right towards poor Barnel. But it was not Barnel that Ajek was shooting at, for when Barnel stepped aside, mouth agape, a large river crocolisk floated to the surface with Ajek's arrow perfectly placed between his 2 large eyes. We set out toward the west, through the thick overgrowth of the tangled jungle. Moving with slow, deliberate steps, we paced through thick foliage in search of prey. The morning passed in frustrated silence. Nothing was stirring in the vale, not even a breeze. By the afternoon, the expedition had grown restless. Barnel no longer strode with the cautious steps of a predator tracking prey. Rather, he clumsily clomped along the path, often stepping noisily on dried leaves or fallen branches. During one such misstep, Earlgadin laid a heavy hand on Barnel's shoulder. Ajek and I gave a casual glance, assuming the man was simply giving Barnel a much-needed scolding for his carelessness. Earlgadin, however, gestured slowly with his head toward a nearby fallen tree. Gazing back at us were 2 piercing black eyes, just above a mouthful of razor-sharp fangs. And on to Chapter 2. The beast was a male Stranglethorn tiger. Before I could cock my rifle, Erlgedin raised his crossbow and fired upon the beast. The bolt missed its mark and caught the beast heavily in the left flank. The tiger made a futile attempt to flee, but its wound was too grave. The beast stumbled for a few tragic seconds until Barnel finished the kill with a thrown axe. The kill brought about a festive mood amongst the expedition. Barnel poured mead for all to enjoy, but our festivities were short-lived. As we were preparing the corpse for transport back to base camp, we were all caught off guard by a horrendous growl. In all my years, I've never heard anything so blood-curdling. On a rocky precipice above, silhouetted by the setting sun, I could make out the largest cat of prey I have ever laid my eyes upon. I was able to loose one clumsy volley with my rifle, but the cat held his ground. He growled once again, this time louder than the first, and vanished. We gathered our belongings and headed sullenly back to camp. I'd promised the expedition that we would spend the next day hunting panthers, as their furs are in high demand throughout Azeroth. It only makes sense that such demand should exist with all of the able-bodied hunters, trappers, and fur traders off giving their lives so valiantly in the name of the Alliance. Adjek and Sir Erlgedin were anxious to learn how to hunt effectively with a dwarven rifle. I had the two humans leave their primitive range weapons at base camp. Barnel and I outfitted them with some of Ironforge's finest firearms. On this day we ventured to the south, following some fresh panther tracks. Soon we reached a ravine spanned by a tremendous rope bridge. I could not help but to think of Brand's descriptive writings of this region when I saw the engineering marvel. So often it was assumed that the native trolls were a primitive and uneducated race, yet as I gazed upon the master craftsmanship of the bridge, I was able to recognize the skill with which the troll builders overcame the seemingly impossible feat. Before long, Adjek tracked the panther to the southwest. We walked quietly, guns at the ready in anticipation of our prey. A snapping of twigs from a nearby copse of trees drew our attention immediately. Something was in there. One stern glance at Barnel was enough to convey my thoughts. Barnel slowly lowered his rifle. This kill was not for us, it was for the human companions. Countless panthers had lost their lives in front of our smoking barrels. This kill would be for the humans. Both Adjek and Sir Erlgedin stood poised, guns leveled at the bristling overgrowth at the base of the swaying trees. The midday sun beat heavily upon us. A slow trickle of perspiration trailed down from Erlgedin's temple as he pulled the pin back. Upon the sound of the click, the thick flora parted and a huge black panther, a beautiful specimen, darted out onto the plain. And we're now on to Chapter 3. The humans trained their sights on the panther as it ran along the edge of the tree line. The barrels of their guns moved in perfect parallel tandem. Barnel gave me an urging glance, but I shook my head no. This hunt was for the humans, not Barnel or me. Erlgedin fired a booming shot, missing the panther altogether. Apparently he was unprepared for the violent kickback of the rifle blast. His gun tossed back violently in his arms. The barrel swooped sideways and came up beneath Adjek's rifle. Adjek had chosen that exact moment to pull her trigger. The rifle, the aim now knocked clumsily toward the tree line, went off with a distinct boom. A flock of birds screamed out of the canopy, scattering in every direction. A plume of smoke rose from the tree. We watched in awe as a tremendous branch fell squarely on the fleeing panther, breaking its back. As the weeks passed, our stockpile of panther and tiger skins grew immense. I decided it was time for the expedition to shift our focus to a new challenge: raptors. The humans, while appreciative of the training Barnel and I offered, decided to refrain from hunting with firearms. Adjek was much more comfortable with a finely strung bow, and Sir Erlgedin never left camp without his sturdy crossbow. We set out at first light, heading south past the Takashi ruins. Barnel voiced concern that we might encounter members of the Bloodscalp tribe. I reminded Barnel that the Bloodscalps were more concerned with destroying their tribal enemy, the Skull Splitters. Needless to say, Barnel was not comforted in the least. I, however, had a loaded rifle, a satchel full of gunpowder, and 3 deadly hunters with me to ease any concerns of an unfriendly ambush. I've stood before a towering infernal on the battlefield, the army of the Burning Legion advancing from all directions. An unruly band of trolls seems as harmless as a jackrabbit in the hills of Dunmorag. We passed the Takashi ruins without event. Much to Barnel's relief, the party proceeded to head westward toward the Great Sea, skirting the ruins of Zulkunda just to the south. As we ascended the high sea bluffs, we spotted our first raptor. The beast never so much as detected our presence. In fact, the only greeting it received from the expedition was a bullet between the eyes. Sir Erlgiddon let out a hearty hurrah as Ajek nodded toward me with a keen approval. I sifted through my pack in search of my pipe, hoping to enjoy a celebratory smoke. Barnel began to scurry up the hillside to retrieve the raptor's corpse. I stared at the fallen beast with the satisfaction that accompanies every big kill. But I could not bask in the glory of the kill for long, for when I turned my eyes toward the horizon, several silhouettes appeared, cresting the hill just above poor Barnel. "Flee, Barnel!" I shouted. Ajek, Sir Erlgiddon, and myself loosed a volley of bullets, arrows, and bolts over Barnel and toward the pursuing raptors. One of us landed a kill amidst the confusion. Our hastily aimed shots were enough to buy Barnel's escape. Barnel clambered back down the hill and rejoined the party. We scurried off into the jungle, a pack of ferocious lash-tailed raptors stalking our every move. The hunters were now the hunted. In the finale, Chapter 4, a little shorter. I led the party toward the sea, hoping the shoreline would provide refuge from the raptors. In our haste, we have drifted too far north to a precariously high elevation. The mistake was made. The fault was mine. We stopped just short of a sheer cliff, the raptors just a few paces behind. I stepped slowly forward, gun raised. I had led these brave hunters to their death. I would die defending them. Lash-tailed raptors are particularly fierce, known for their unrelenting bloodthirst. They far outnumbered us, but I would be damned if I let them kill me and my comrades without shedding some of their own blood first. Ajek and Sir Erlgiddon readied their weapons, flanking me on either side, our backs to the sea. Barnel led on a defeated side and drew his axe. The lash-tails were almost upon us. Their steady stride had slowed. They were stalking their prey now, for they knew they had us trapped. And then something miraculous happened. From off to our side, we heard the distinct and terrifying roar of the great white tiger. Despite their numbers, the raptors turned and scattered in all directions. We saw but a brief white flash as the tiger darted past us and pounced on one of the raptors. No command needed to be given. All 4 members of our party knew it was time to run. We sprinted all the way back to base camp, never slowing. Later that night, we sat quietly around the campfire, knowing our lives had been saved by a bizarre twist of fate. Such are the risks of the big game hunter. We toy with fate by delivering it, yet each of us at some point will face fate's razor-sharp teeth. This dwarf is just glad that moment did not come upon the green hills of Stranglethorn. Bum bum bum, we did it.
Great to meet you. Off with
Have you assembled the chapters yet, Gleek and Soul?
You've certainly saved me a heap of trouble, adventurer. I can't thank you enough. It shouldn't be long now until we see Master Nettingwary's book in libraries throughout the world.
I wish that we had more reward for doing that quest. It's such a pain in the butt. I feel like it should be worth a little something more payoff. But alas, thus
Light be with you.
is not to be the case. We will sell that and sell these extra pages we no longer need. Fantastic. Okay, so here we go. We're going to mount up now. We have just a couple. We have 2 quests to turn in that are done, as well as facing Negolash. So let's start the zone. Okay, I'm going to copy pasta this. So, here we go. I said I'm looking for a brave soul to help me slay Negolash. I have the goods to summon. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to run down there. And if I get no bites in the time it takes me, I will rebroadcast in looking for group. Let's do so now. And we have time to turn in a couple. I have time to walk there. And other than that, the only other thing we can do is look up what's the chance we could kite him. I actually think it's possible because we kite that other guy. He's not that much further than Negolash is. I really feel like the possibility of kiting Negolash is high. And then we will have kited all 3 giants. And I feel like that's kind of appropriate for the way that we have done our journeys today.
Where would you like to fly to?
So let's go with Putting it out there again. This time with the quest tagged in there, and maybe we'll get something. And meanwhile, let's go look at Facing Negolash and see what people say about the old kiting prospects. Facing Negolash. Because the only thing that would stop us would be like a bug. Bring friends. Boat can be feared and thus easily killed. Failed miserably to solo. Anybody having problems doing it? Okay. Just soloed this at level 62. It's like a speeding freight train. All right, so let's turn in our 2 quests. Nobody's saying anything about kiting him, and that's worrisome. I will look up specifically. Okay, so Whiskey Slim's lost Grog. Sink me, I'm almost out of booze here. Captain is going to weigh anchor and old Slim will be caught dry as the Tanaris desert once he discovers his port is missing. Blimey.
Shiver me timbers! You found the captain's grog!
That's actually a pretty good rum.
Seems like a storm is a brewing outside. Maybe I'll just keep warm with one of these here bottles while we wait for it to pass.
Okay, so we just did Whiskey Slim's lost Grog. Very, very... Oh, did I miss saving Yeniku? I had to have. I sure did. Oh, I just forgot to check it off. I didn't actually miss it. Okay. So, there we go. Oh, Enticing Negolash is part of it. Okay. Bam, bam. I think we need a couple more. There we go. Okay, gonna just continue to spam because if I just had a person to help, it would be a guarantee, whereas a kite situation is going to be a lot more risky. But I will look up kiting Negolash. It's totally cough up my booze.
Let's try this. I can't believe
Oh,
it. This stuff
suck.
is terrible. That's great. Well, I guess Stoley can keep the money he owes me. He's true to his word about Steamweedle Bilge rum. That stuff is as thick as gravel and burns like lava.
Okay, we also need to buy 5 bottles of this wine, so I'm glad I just remembered that. That would have been annoying.
Interesting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sell these boots. Bang, bang. Okay. So we just also did that, the MacKinley thing. Bong bong. Bada bing, bada boom. So if you look at this, maybe it's because of all the blacksmithing, but I mean, we did some Wildvine stuff there too. But there's a pretty... So the Alliance is a little bit more than Horde. Interesting. Alright, so I will continue to... Dang it, I copy-pasted that after. Okay. I'm just going to keep spamming that for now while we travel there, and then while I do the research. As I run down there, I really, other than him maybe getting bugged out, but I don't see why we couldn't kite him. It's a very similar path to, because we already brought up this canyon, right? We already walked through this valley before. We've kited the other giant this way. Now the other giant is like up about right there. This one's right about down there. It's really not that much different. So I really am pretty confident that we can do it. There's just more. It's a little bit further. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to look up Kiting Negolash. Can you? So let's just look up Negolash himself. Solo kited him. There we go. Just kite him until you have aggro, then take him. I kited him to Booty Bay. Okay. Druids can do anything they want. Alright, so let's get our goods going first of all. What else? I guess I could increase the stam. I really wish I had some Night Fin. That's actually better for me than this dumb thing. Alright. I feel kind of okay about the whole kiting situation. I don't want to risk being drunk. Okay, we'll eat one more Sunskills salmon to poach ourselves. Alright, let's try it. I feel pretty good. There we go. Awesome. There we go. All right, so this guy's 51, so that's good. Okay. I'm going to see if he goes Voidwalker. That might help us a little bit more. Because then the Voidwalker can tank. Alright. So I'm going to set these up. Okay, we're going to summon this guy. Then I will slow him with this. Oops. We'll do this quest after. I didn't click. Okay. Okay, so we'll do Enticing Negolash in just a sec. There he is. I smell food. Okay. Coming back here to my thingy. Okay, let's see what his... Okay. Alright, so we're gonna see how he does. Okay, we're gonna go with the damage here. Okay, good. We are... I accidentally aggroed this stupid crab. Got it. Okay, so we did it. And that was it. That was all we needed, was this stinking thing here. And we did it. We can go turn in the guy. And that was pretty good. Between him fearing him and everything, we're all good to go. Alright, so we just did the two. I'm going to just toss them both on the spreadsheet right now. Enticing and Facing Negolash. We freaking finished Stranglethorn Vale, the biggest quest in the game. And somebody helped us, so... That's great. We just have to turn this in. All things good. And I love it. Make sure they're okay. Don't know what they're doing exactly. Cool. They're good. Take care. Okay. So I think also that we could have kited. A couple people said it. I really truly think we could have kited here if we really had to. But hey, I will definitely take a partner anytime. This is a social game after all. I mean, it can be. It generally is, in much the same way that the world is a social world. You can do life solo. However, you have to ignore the rest of the world to do so. You have to willfully go out of your way. All right, so that's good. That means in a few days you're going to see me on a long play again. You'll see me in another video, a short one before we get there.
Can I help you?
You get my cutness gleeking zone.
For the Alliance.
Yes, this is actually a great trinket. It's our first passive, actual, real trinket. See, as a character, we don't even have two yet. All we have is the speed one. Forgot we even had it. But we get a second one now. That's just a passive 1% chance to dodge. You got my cutlass from Negolash. I can't believe my fortune gleeking so. Meeting you has turned me luck to the better. Make no mistake there. Thank you. If I ever get a new ship you're looking to sail the seas, you'd be my honored guest. So we got a trinket. That's great. As a horde, this is now our second trinket. We will get another one when we do hinterlands that will allow us to take the nifty stopwatch and put that to shame. Get that out of here. Because that's just passive. Oh my gosh, I love it. Thank you. Goodness, guys. We stinking did it. We have the biggest zone in the game in the pipe 5x5. That's great. We'll try our best to work on the Elder stuff next time. Yeah. And I'm pretty proud. I'm pretty proud we got that one done. So thank you everybody so much for watching and listening and tuning in. And I will see every single one of you next time on Lore of Warcraft. Peace.